You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Well, it's great to have you, but I got to say, you're a bit shorter in person. Did you have to climb a step stool to get on this chair?
This is the BBC. In line with the wishes of the British government to see as much carnage as possible because it's really, really funny, places of entertainment will not be closed even though war has just been declared. The Prime Minister will address the nation again at 9:30 tonight. For those interested, he will be wearing a pink dress, a poncho and a wide-brimmed hat with "Beware of the Leopard" printed across the top in large, friendly letters.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, well, work is hard.
You're not really listening to me, are you?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I could say anything right now, like, you're a complete tool.
Mm-hmm.
But you wouldn't hear it, 'cause you're a freak with a microphone.
Uh-huh.
It's not even challenging anymore. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Isn't that true, Sphincter Boy?
Uh-huh. What? Oh! They're getting closer all the time. All right, good information about Wayne Stock. Very exciting. We'll be back with more right after Pig Sports. Right now, it's 16 minutes past the big hour. Is that not right, Mr. Scream?
Well, a naked man is chasing a woman through an alley with a butcher knife and a heart on. I figure he isn't out collecting for the Red Cross. Well, I'm all broken up about that man's run.
Oh, man. To the spine.
Is everybody in? Is everybody in? Is everybody in? The ceremony is about to begin.
Lady, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store. Lady, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store.
I kill demons, not people.
Bullshit!
Unless those people are demons who look like people. And then I kill people.
Don't bullshit me.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Bullshit! You said so!
Please do not adjust your television or phone set. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Rebooting now. Please remember to keep an open mind and encourage participation and seek non-violent solutions. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing an impromptu hangout because I feel like talking about some Marvel Legends. I've got a lot of different Marvel Legends, so I'm just going to go movie ones today, and I'll do like comic ones another time because I've got way more of those, so that'll be too long. Quick hello to the Zazadata, Zazel Man. So just some hastily cobbled together show. It's just a whole pile of old photos of various action figures and stuff I bought over the years, and I thought I'd chuck them in here and sit down and just talk about some of the Marvel movie or MCU live action legends, and take a look at some of these fellas and ladies, of course. So first up here we got Loki from the Avengers movies and the Loki TV show. On the middle one I got a Charlie Xavier, and that figure in the brown suit was actually the TV Loki that came with that head, and the blue suit was the Charles Xavier, which is based on the Patrick Stewart version. And I switched the heads on those and kept I quite like Loki in the blue. I liked Charlie in the brown suit, which is it's not what he was wearing in the Logan movie, aka Wolverine 3, but it reminds me enough of that I just kept him like that. And the wheelchair came with a different figure again. I forget, or maybe no, I think it did come with Xavier. That's the plain movie wheelchair, because the comic one comes with the big hover chair from the animated show. And over on the right, we've got a guy, I call him Magneto the White, after the Lord of the Rings style. That one is one of the modern Magneto redo costumes from the comics, in the white costume, and it's got a cool movie head. Let's skip ahead. Where is he? Is he in here? There he goes. Yeah, it's got a cool movie head that I switched from the other body. In the picture here, you can see I got 3 different flavors of Magneto. On the left is the Ian McKellen head, and it's the same body. On the right it's the multi-pack, comes with multiple heads, and it's got the younger Fassbender one, and then you've got the older no helmet one, which is a really nice Ian McKellen head sculpt. Even if you did want to chuck that on another figure and just happen to like Ian McKellen as an actor, it goes pretty well. Hey, Philator. Don't know what's not showing your icon for some weird reason. Yeah, I can see it on YouTube when I click the stream. Oh, there it goes. It's just loading weirdly. I felt a bit naked for a moment there. I couldn't see an icon. Like Phil's doing my trick last time, where something was just like faded away, like Back to the Future. Yeah, so a couple of different Magnetos. I'll just jump back because I skipped ahead there. Go back. Yeah, so here, different body again. This was the 1980s Captain Marvel Nick Fury body, and that same Charlie Xavier head. And I just put here, he's got the bat, and he's going like Charles in Charge, like that old TV show. He's like smashed Magneto with the bat, and he can walk for no reason. But it was just, that's where my imagination goes sometimes. Like, just make up something ridiculous just for a fun one-off photo. And it's fun to switch the heads around and try them out different looks. Here it's going for a kind of Charlie's Angels thing. That's the poses. It's that same blue suit body. You can see I got 2 of these. I like the Xavier Magneto movie pack, came with heaps of heads. I think it was 3 or 6 heads and 2 figures, and lots of parts. And it went on sale. So I ended up buying a second one, ended up reusing a lot of the heads and bucks of different things. Here I've repurposed a Matt Murdock head on one of the blue suit bodies, so it can be the lawyer version. That came in a Daredevil regular comic Legends, who also got a full Daredevil, and then I repurposed that half-price suit body, chucked the casual head on him. So now I get, 2 in costume, out of costume Murdoch. The 80s style Nick Fury, where he's younger there before he has the eye patch. I still don't have a proper one with the eye patch, because that one kind of came and went. It's harder to get. And there's Xavier again, blue body, and the big Iron Hulkbuster, Iron Man Hulkbuster in the background that was in Age of Ultron and various comics and such. But yeah, I love that big Hulkbuster figure. It came in a 2-pack with the movie Hulk figure as well. and both of them are really nice. And at the time, they were good value before we had these massive price hikes and all that. They were actually really good set because both were giant size figures at a relatively budget price for what they were. Here we've got some Deadpool action. So this was actually an older photo of my comic book shelf at the time of like I had kind of all-star legends. I had Cap, Hulk, Wolverine. I was kind of like the Capcom arcade games of putting like some of the big heroes in that, just fighting various villains there: Sabretooth, Abomination, Kingpin, some hand ninjas, and the white ninjas were from that terrible Snake Eyes G.I. Joe movie, which I'm proud to say I have never watched and never will. Unless Clockwork Orange style happens, that's about the only way we're going to watch that. But anyway, those white ninjas, and I don't even know who it's supposed to be, if it's meant to be the iconic white ninja or just a generic ninja. I don't know. I bought it as a generic ninja. It was a really nice figure. Terrible movie, good figure. And it was on sale. So I bought another one. Then I bought another one. And then one day I'm like, I've got 3 of these red guys, 3 of these white guys, and I line them all up like dominoes and just have like Deadpool on a stand doing a big jumping sidekick into the face, and he's knocking a whole 6 ninjas of dominoes knocking over. So on the stand is the comic Deadpool. Down the foreground is the movie Deadpool, who always has, in the comics, he always has yellow speech bubbles rather than white, and he often breaks the fourth wall and talks to the audience. And this is a quote from, is it Hot Shots or 2? I want to say Hot Shots 2, yeah, because it's like Rambo, where Charlie Sheen's going one way on the boat, and then the other Sheen, or Emilio Estevez, aka Sheen, brother, is going past the other way, and they both look at each other at the same time. They go, "I loved you in Wall Street." And I don't know if it makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, Charlie Sheen's in it, but I don't believe that it's like Gordon Gekko and the Charlie Sheen. But I don't think Emilio Estevez is in it, so I'd never quite understood the quote, but it's still funny either way. And I just thought it was funny because Deadpool's always making references to pop culture, movies and such. And I just watched Deadpool 3/Wolverine the other night. Actually, I enjoyed it so much I watched it twice in a row. I watched it by myself. Then my missus came home and got mad that I was watching it without her. So then I said, "Let's watch it now." She's like, "I don't want to watch half of it." I'm like, "I don't care. I'll watch it again right now. Let's watch it for the start again." So I watched it twice in a row. Hello, Ronnie Trick Shot. Have you had a haircut? Yeah, it's as soon as the weather, I only grow my hair out in the winter and my beard, and as soon as it warms up in Perth, man, it gets. It's not that hot this time of year, but I work in the community. I'm on the road half of the day in my car, so even though we're just getting into spring, really, it's already 30 degrees inside the car when I get back in it, where it's sitting out on the in the street where I'm parking, go around point to point during the day. So as soon as it gets to that kind of heat, I just cut it off, because otherwise I actually get like heat stroke and I get too hot and I can't focus. And I've also got like a lung condition where my lungs are basically going to shit and packing up on me. Not anytime soon. I mean, it's taken 10 years at this point. Probably take another 20 years before they completely fuck up. But in the heat, it's much harder for me to breathe and get more oxygen. And so that's the other reason. So the hotter I am, the less efficient my lungs will get the oxygen. So that's another reason to cut your hair. That's over-explaining 101. Now let's talk about some toys. Say it loud, say it proud. I refuse to watch it. Yeah, I mean, I love action movies. I like movies about ninjas. I've watched like all the American ninja movies from the 80s. I've watched like loads of Jackie Chan stuff. I watched samurai stuff, Bruce Lee, Jet Li, anybody Lee, Donnie Yen, any of those guys. And I've watched loads of B-grade Jean-Claude Van Damme stuff. But once you get past the year 2000, that kind of B-grade action movie just went to shit, with few exceptions. Like some of the Expendables are okay for parts. There's occasional Arnold one that's watchable, but all the good 80s style ninja films stayed in the 80s. like Ninja 3, The Domination. That has to be one of the craziest over the top ones. What else we got here? Here's Deadpool movie figure, who's one of the absolute best movie MCU legends. I was fortunate to get the first run of this when it came out, because it was when it came out, it sold out, and then they didn't reissue it for more than a year and a half later. First, they put out a stupid black and white one. Then they put out like a 2-pack. Well, actually, no, this was a 2-pack. It came with Negasonic Teenage Warhead, character created by Grant Morrison for the new X-Men comic back in the day, and who was in Deadpool 2. Was she in the first one? I want to say she was in the second one. She's in the third one as well for cameo. Anyway, awesome figure. And he didn't come with that little sickle thing. That came with the red ninja from the G.I. Joe Classified, so I just gave him that. And the second sword or whatever. There's a little Pikachu there for fun, who's like the smallest Pikachu I have. He's like, that's actually a scale Pikachu to like the size of the other figures. And Spider-Ham, who's from the, what was that movie called? The Spider-Man that was based on the multiverse animated thing. I forget. Spider-Verse, that's it, because it was completely different than the comic crossover Spider-Verse, but got the name from there. So that's the animated movie Spider-Pig. I have a different Spider-Pig that's Peter Porker that lives on my comic shelf, so they're quite different designs. And I got Korg, love Korg, that was in Thor 3, voiced by Taika Waititi, of course. In the background, I got Odin with the big helmets, and Hela, of course. Pikachu, yeah, I just put him in that particular one to go with Deadpool because it was just like, he's just a wacky, silly character, and you get like silly pop culture stuff. The actual figure came with a toy unicorn, like a little baby plush unicorn thing, which is, I don't know, I think it's another reference to the comics. But sometimes you see him holding the unicorn like near his crotch with the horn pointing upwards. Is like, and I don't really get the reference of it, but there's a lot of Deadpool comics over the years with weird pop culture stuff and just silly gags and that. And I had this one here where my shelf was getting crowded, had the Falcon, Winter Soldier Falcon dude out with the wings. This was bullshit release because they've released that figure a whole bunch. I got the first one where they gave him the wings, but it was a Build-A-Figure wave. And there was no figure. Each of those wings is like 6 parts to 6 different figures for some rubbish figures I didn't want, I didn't keep. And I was forced to buy them just to complete his bloody wings. And then about 2 years later, they re-released the whole figure with the wings, and you could buy just that. So I felt pretty cheated there. But annoyed. But whatever. That's when I first had him. I kind of had him out in the front. And if you have him on the shelf, you can't fit nothing else on there. He's like 5 figures wide. You're better off. The stand he comes with is absolute garbage. You're better off just like getting some fishing line, hang it from the top of a shelf on a hook or whatever. And I got the old Deadpool's just like lying down. He's got a skateboard, like he stacked it and just like toppled over. But I had him on the shelf for a while too, where he's just like lying down, just like maximum effort. It's like, or he just doesn't care. Well, Build-A-Figure is a scam. Hasbro Build-A-Figure is garbage. Toy Biz Build-A-Figure was great because you got giant size figures like Fin Fang Foom. There was a Sentinel. There was Galactus. They were 13, 14 inches tall. They were massive figures, lots of plastic. And you weren't paying extra for them. You were paying just the standard figure prices. The Build-A-Figure was a free bonus. And people back in those days, people weren't scalping the Build-A-Figures for just about as much as buying the whole wave online. So that sort of stuff is just garbage. I've only got probably 2 Build-A-Figures out of like hundreds of bloody waves of stuff. I've never planned to get any of them. I've got one that was a Venom. They call him Monster Venom, but he's just bulky, big roid rage 90s Venom. But I happened to buy that wave to get symbiotes. I wasn't after the Build-A-Figure, just a big consequence of getting that wave. These ones here, I got the Loki, movie Loki with old Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park. And I like, both are in black, and well, I switched them on that body's in black, but I just like the idea they're both, the theme is chaos. It's like, because Chaos Mathematician was Jeff Goldblum's character, and Loki, of course, is a god of mischief / god of chaos and whatnot. But I thought it was just fun, these two together, just kind of like camping it up, big mischief makers. That's Magneto's again. In the background, you can see my comic Fantastic Four dudes there. And King Shark. He was a Build-A-Figure, but actually he was also a single release figure as well. I ended up getting both because one I bought as a figure, then the other one I got as a bonus, and then later on I sold it cheap on eBay because I didn't need 2 of the bloody things. But yeah, the heads they did on these Magnetos were fantastic. Like getting the Ed McKellen head and the Michael Fassbender, really good likenesses. And these figures were just excellent. What's Ronnie saying there? Malcolm talks to Rex with the flare, not Loki. Yeah, you picked up on it, did you? It's like, yeah, I just switched them around. because that was the day they took this photos the day I got that Jeff Goldblum figure. I've got tons of Jurassic Park dinosaurs, but I don't collect the figures or the vehicles. I just bought. I mean, I love the movies, but I just like Jeff Goldblum as an actor. I just wanted a figure of him more than I wanted a Jurassic Park character. So I just gave him the Havoc staff that put in his hand, being it's like another symbol of like chaos from Skeletor. It's not that one. This is a different one again. That's the Masterverse one, which has got awesome sculpting in it. I've seen people, if you paint that, it actually looks amazing, the details, but I'm no good at painting things, so I don't do that. Except for, well, occasionally I do think I paint like a Ninja Turtles weapon. I put some silver on just those size, and General Trag's holding them just because I needed something to hold them while they dried. Just got this Trag in the mail, $10. $10 I got in there, but I've got 5 or 6 of them now. I had one for 30 years, and the last year I bought about 5 more Trags because he's like the cheapest figure. They never released proper rock soldiers in the vintage Turtles line, so I just buy multiple Trags instead. But here we got Magneto and his kids being Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, and those figures turned out pretty nice. Oh yeah, there's a story behind that random Big Bird. Like, that's the stuff was on my desk at the time. Now I've got, what have I got on here? I've got wrestlers, and I've got Scooby-Doo and Crypto, and I've got some mouses down here. I had a Snuffleupagus, that Sesame Street one. When I was a kid at the local BP like fuel station, they had a promotion where you get, I don't know, you spend something and get points. Like my dad would buy fuel or whatever. You keep the receipt, and if you got enough points, you got these minifigures, which were all from Sesame Street. There was like Bert, Ernie. There was a Super Grover, Oscar the Grouch in his can, Snuffleupagus, Big Bird, and some other ones. And Elmo didn't exist back then, so there was no Elmo. And they were really cool, just little minifigures, like painted really nicely, nice sculpting. And I threw all the points and whatever it was that we used to spend, that was the local service station 2 blocks from our house. I got all of those figures, and I had them for years and years as a kid. And then at some point I lost them, and I really liked them. And I'd occasionally look on eBay, and don't find them, or the prices are not good. But a few years back, I got the Big Bird again, I got Snuffleupagus again, and then nothing for about 2 or 3 years. And then just last week, I picked up a whole bunch of them really cheap. They're a bit banged up, but still all right. I got most of the ones again that I lost as a kid. But they're really nice minifigures. But yeah, my front desk thing, I do kind of put like random, I'd fill it with like figures and then minifigures, stuff all over the place, really. I mean, I've got bloody Aristocats cat down there, and I've got all sorts of things, like little minifigures and birds and like miniatures and all sorts. Got a bloody, what's over here? Totoro, with a little leaf hat. And I got koalas hanging there and all sorts of stuff. Oh yeah, go forward. Yeah, so there's Magneto and his kids, Thanos in the background there, and you can see the big Hulkbuster Iron Man suit scales. Like, there's a pretty good scale in the movie line. Like, the Hulkbuster looks bigger than Thanos. Thanos is bigger and taller than the other regular dudes, but not too much bigger. He looks pretty good. So here was a zoom out of what was on the shelf at the time. I've changed it around a whole bunch. They're not currently. I've got Beast Wars stuff on that same shelf, like it's this shelf just over here. Ugh. So it's one of those shelves I kind of rotate every 3-6 months and put different things on there. And I've got other stuff I leave out permanently. They don't really move. So it leaves me limited options to rotate different things around. I show some Marvel stuff. I had some Masterverse ones there for a while. Now I've got some Transformers Beast Wars, like modern ones on there. But yeah, I had them all spaced out. Underneath things, the Pokemon stuff. And above that's the same Decepticon shelf. Still Decepticons up there. They've been up there for at least 3 or 4 years now. I'm thinking I might do a little bonus video, maybe next midweek, like a 5-minute one, just showing. I've got to dust them all and then show that Decepticon shelf. I've got millions of bloody Transformers. I can never get them on the. I mean, if I took every figure for all of those shelves, I still could not fit all the Transformers. If every shelf was Transformers, they still wouldn't fit on there. There's too many. I've got tubs and tubs of them out the back. Okay, so on here we got, here's where I was starting to get a few more figures and swapping a few ones around. Get the Black Panther movie one, nice Spider-Man. There was a War Machine that came out. It was really nice. Well, there were several War Machines, but there was a Punisher one, which is what's on the shelf there with that skull logo. But then you can have a War Machine head, or we can switch it out with an actual Punisher head from other figures. It was quite nice. Got the big Hulk, Doctor Strange up the back, Thor for number 3. And I was annoyed that one didn't come with an alternate head for long hair. So I could do with another Thor just to have the long hair version as well. And there was a really nice Iron Man. Randomly, he's got the spare Black Panther head on for no reason, because I was probably swapping heads and trying parts, and it was left on there for storage while I had that head somewhere else, so basically so I didn't lose it. Yeah, got a nice Black Widow. They've done so many Black Widows. They did no Black Widows when the first Avengers movie was out. There was kind of an outcry, like you're making figures, all the characters no Black Widow. Years later, they finally made them. Then they went overload. They made so many Black Widow figures. I think I've got 3 or 4 now. Ones I bought on sale just to get extra parts and heads to swap with them and all that. Deadpool's repurposed the chair from Charlie Xavier there. Here's Captain Marvel with the little cat, which is technically an alien, not actually a cat, but looks like a cat. You've got Ant-Man and Spider-Man. And if you look up the top left on the Hulk arm, there's another Ant-Man, like a little miniature shrunken down one. That came with a giant size, one of those shampoo bottle 10, 12-inch figures. And the gimmick, you spring his chest open, there's a little Ant-Man inside, and it comes flying out if you do the gimmick. But it was actually a really nice figure by itself that I keep as Giant Man. Yeah, these guys are cool. Oh, yes. Probably one of the other all-time best movie legends figures was Cable, who, of course, was Josh Brolin, who also played Thanos. He was in Deadpool 2. Not a number 3, though. Which is a shame, because there's tons of cameos in Deadpool 3 / Deadpool and Wolverine, but no Cable. They show a couple of brief clips of number 2 as flashbacks, but they don't, like, he's not technically not even in the film. Mystique was a really nice figure. That was like that Rebecca Remigian. I can't pronounce her name. Going all the way back to, I think it was X-Men 2 was the first one she was in. And back there, I've got like a Logan in like casual clothes who's pushing Charlie in the wheelchair. Samuel Jackson in the middle. And I picked up some of the Shang-Chi figures. The movie was fairly rubbish. I mean, I didn't hate it. I watched it at home one night, and it was, I don't know, passably entertained, but not a good film. The figures are really nice, especially and you really see good action figures of like decent looking Chinese action hero type things. I mean, outside of, I don't know, Asia, if you're buying toys over there, of course, it's different. But in the West, I mean, so they were really, even though I didn't care for the film, the figures are really nice and they were fairly cheap. So I picked them up and no regrets. So really good likenesses for the actors, and they were very posable. You could do some really, really nice poses with them. Over to the right here, I've got some of the Avengers dudes going on. I've got Widow, got Hulk in the back, Hulkbuster. We've got Cap, Thor's behind them, and Bucky. That was from the TV show, Bucky and Falcon or whatever, because he's got the short hair and his clothes are quite different. But the other version I really wanted sold out a long time ago and couldn't really get it anymore. I think I managed to finally get one of the long hair ones, but he's more comic-y looking, so I stuck him with the comic ones. And over the side there, I got the Scarlet Witch again. And I was still chasing movie Vision, because for some reason he just came out, went away. They didn't really reissue it for a long, long time. It became hard to get, so I still don't have one. Here we got old Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury in the middle. Zazel's hellos. And I got Deadpool having a lay down, and Spider-Man looking down at him like just disapprovingly, like you're not even going to bother stand up. On the background on the right, I've got the Black Panther again. I've got 2 or 3 versions of him. That one's got like the African skirt with the like traditional colours, and he's got the alternate unmasked head, and it's a really nice head on that one. Another different widow there. It's like the White Widow costume. Really good likeness on that head. And I forget the names of the characters from the Shang-Chi, but they pose nicely, and the colours are great, and they're just, it's weird that the movie was just, but the figures were just so nice. And I actually wanted to get most of the wave, but eventually they just went away from the shops, and there was too many other things I wanted to buy, and didn't get around to getting them, because I would have liked to get the other female characters as well. They were good figures too. Here's that Giant Man figure, which is, I mean, it's Ant-Man in his giant size, which when he becomes big, basically that's when he's known as Giant Man, but there are other costumes. This one, you can see in the middle of the chest that opens up, and that's where the little mini one comes from that's hanging out in the background there. It's on the very right side of the screen, hanging on Hulk's arm, the little tiny Ant-Man. So it was good getting that big one and the little one, because they've released an actual Giant Man figure in the movie Legends, and it's too small. It's barely any bigger than the 6-inch figure, and it's not even big. It's pointless. It's just Ant-Man who's like slightly taller. So this like bloody $15 figure I got at Big W is perfect to go on the movie shelf, because he's the right scale and size, but he's just those hollow shampoo bottle ones. But his hair's got his arms move and that, and his legs move. It is actually one of the nicer ones of those, and it's got good paint and detailing on it. And I've got another random figure here. It's blurry in the background because this was focused on the Giant Man, but up the top right there's a Fantastic Four body that's a Johnny Storm, but I've put an alternate Captain Marvel head where it's all flamey, and it's a fairly androgynous head, so when you put on it kind of looks like a movie Fantastic Four Johnny Storm, even though they haven't really done one, other than, spoiler alert, Deadpool 3, there's actually one in that, but it's Chris Evans as Human Torch. It's not any of the other versions. And I got Deadpool in the wheelchair here, and he's got the hammer of Thor. He's got some other weapons and guns and such. So there's just like pilfered from other characters, and Logan's like, look at him, like, get out of that chair, you animal. And I've got up the back, I've got the Cable. In between Doctor Strange and Thanos is another Jeff Goldblum as the forget the name. That's the Grandmaster. That's what he was called in Thor #3. That's a really nice figure too. Again, got that on sale. I did take a photo ages back showing him and the Jurassic Park one, having like 2 different Jeff Goldblums from different universes was cool. But yeah, a couple more pictures in here. I'll probably wrap up soon. Hello, saying Ronnie. So there's Azazel, the Filator, Boba Hicks. Where's he? Where did you leave? Oh, he's popped in up there. He's like a bloody ninja. You don't know where he is. He just pops up. I didn't even see him in there. Hello. Boba Hicks where? As we've said, he's where you left him, Zazel. So just look around the house, look around, check everywhere, and the last place you look, that's where he'll be. Okay, so we've sorted that out. And so here we've got Hela. We've got, I want to say Scourge or something like that. I forget the name of the dude that was played by Carl Urban, another Kiwi fella. Also played Judge Dredd, and he was in Star Trek. Oh yeah, it was Bones McCoy in the J.J. Abrams Star Treks. That movie Hulk's fairly nice. He was a good figure. They've done loads of versions of that, but one I got was pretty happy with. It's the 2-pack with the Hulkbuster. That Wolverine with the nice brown jacket and the stripes, like that's a really nice figure. And he does come with clawed hands as well, but I've got him the casual hands there. What else we got? Yeah, close up on that Wolverine and the Deadpool. And you can see the Thor hammer. That's from my comic Thor. It's got the actual inscription of the whosoever holds this hammer he's so worthy, he can have the power of Thor, yada yada, little inscription on it. Actually, I think that's the one that Bobby Valla worked on, because one of the 3 POA podcasts he talked about that. He was the one that sculpted and worked on that particular version of Thor. It's a really nice figure. We've got the War Machine Punisher, which was a short Punisher comic from a few years ago. Basically, it's just a Punisher comic where he steals a War Machine armor, and then he just like spray paints it with his logo and takes off like blasting criminals and such. It's a really fun comic. Yeah, got Black Widow again, Black Panther. What else we got? Yeah, the Shang-Chi figures. You can see what other random things were on the desk at the time. The Fantastic Four wave. They had the Skrull figure there. Yeah, I think I got all of that wave. So I didn't try and go for the Builder figure. I just happened to. I wanted Fantastic Four, so I bought those at the time. I got the Namor. I got the Doctor Doom. And the Skrull was a thing, but I happened to buy figures I actually wanted, a whole wave of stuff I actually wanted. I got months, probably a year apart, getting them all, not at the same time. And you can see that Cookie Monsters from that same BP minifigures that I got as a kid. Well, that's the one I rebought as an adult, but ones I used to have. But yeah, these Shang-Chi figures pose really well. The weapons are nice. Great costume. They're really getting more advanced when I put these out. Good, like, I forget the name of it. You got painting and printing and different stuff, but the clothing and the print on the clothing is really nice and really impressive. The little fine lines and details. And even they did that Eternals wave, which is, I've never watched that movie, never will, because it's nothing to do with the actual comic book Eternals. Those figures were one of the worst shop ones ever that went on clearance everywhere. But objectively, like trash film, we'll never watch it. Objectively, we're using some of the same technology they had on their Shang-Chi figures. They were nice looking sculpts on the clothing and details, even if they were just trash characters that didn't represent anything from the actual Eternal story or anything to do with the Jack Kirby stuff. I think some people picked up some of those for repainting and parts for customizing. So it's a shame they got some of these more advanced technology as far as the building and the bark, but then they used it for these trash films. It's like, why can't they use it on some good films? And since then, since old Endgame, it's been a lot of fairly crappy movies out there. And so I haven't really bought any of the movie line stuff for several years now, like the figures, I mean. It's this one, Phil saying, a Sam Neill figure has just been delivered. Oh, nice. You got the little, I assume you mean like the small scale, like your 3/4 or whatever the hell size it is that goes in the vehicles, because you got two scales in those Jurassic Park, but the classic like 90s one was a small scale, and then they've done the retro ones, and then they've got those random bigger ones as well. But the small scale ones are the ones that go properly with the Jurassic Park vehicles. Casual Hands was the name of my high school band. Bad movie, good toys. Sounds like Motu. Yeah, well, at least that movie has an interesting story behind it, how it was going to be a reasonable movie until Canon ran out of money and completely screwed the film, and they didn't even shoot the ending of it. And they were going to build all these sets and do all sorts of stuff for like stuff set in Eternia, and then they're like, oh no, we'll just film it on Earth because they got no money, and then they didn't film the ending, and the director famously went back and basically did it at his own time, put some of his own money just to film the bloody ending. Because all Canon shell games had run out at that point. They'd pissed all their money away, and they tried the same deal on Superman 4 as well. They did all their loans and leverage, but at least that movie got finished. It's not a good movie, but at least they finished it and filmed a bloody ending. Yeah, Cable again. Yeah, decent close-up Cable in the big Hulk. That movie Cable was just so damn good. I love that figure. The Doctor Strange is really nice too. That was a updated one that's got the proper Benedict Cumberbatch head. The older versions just had like little dot eyes that look like Charlie Brown or covered arms. You look at the early MCU Legends figures. Some of the figures are okay, but the faces are they're like a child's drawing. They got terrible, terrible faces on them. They look like the old Ken of Star Wars figures. They never had likeness of the actor because they weren't going to. They're just very simplistic faces. The early movie Legends figures all look like kind of early Star Wars figureheads, just like little blotchy faces and dot eyes. And I love Sam Neill. He is a great Kiwi, indeed he is. Crowded House, Split Ends, other things. Russell Crowe, he was born in New Zealand, but you can have him. You can have him in Australia. I've triggered Zazel, says Phil. Oi, Ronnie, says Treasure Trigger. He's probably going to careful. He'll give you 3 of those boys and 3 Aussies, and watch out. He'll be on to you. I'm on the edge, says Zazel. Yeah, here's showing off what was on the shelf at the time, like the wide View, we got Nick Fury, we got Deadpool, we got Spider-Man, we got Shang-Chi, Cable, Mystique, Spider Fella, Doctor Strange, Magneto, Black Panther, and the rest. Those other guys. And this was before I even had my bloody modern phone. This was on my old pocket camera. That's why it's always blurry at the sides, because it can't take a wide angle photo. So it's always trying to focus on one thing. That pocket camera is like nearly 20 years old now, so I don't use it anymore because it's too it's only good for taking like a medium distance shot of outdoors or a close up of one thing in front of you. It's not much good for other stuff. So I did a lot of trickery to try to even use it before I ever had a modern smartphone that can just do much nicer photos just in 2 seconds with no effort at all. But yeah, that's about it for today, I think. Just last image again of the Deadpools, Wolverine on the side. This is the comic shelf one, and Carnage in the background. I did this one I did for fun, where I had the Deadpool in, but I had the original version here was actually, I had comic Deadpool on one side, and I actually had Daredevil, who was actually jumping up and kicking the ninjas and fighting the Hand. And I just switched Deadpool in for fun to take this photo one day. And I also did another one where I had 2 of these stands. It's those cheapo McFarlane stands, often come with a 7-inch Superman in it. And I had Deadpool kicking that way and Daredevil kicking the other way, like a mirror image. They're both doing like the same flying side kick in opposite directions, and it looks really cool. I'll probably set that up again one day when I switch all these around again, because they look really nice doing the old flying kicks. Is Deadpool Wolverine any good? I was very skeptical because the involvement of Disney. And I thought, okay, they're going to really stuff up Fox and it won't be R-rated and it won't have the swearing and it won't have the gore. I was so wrong. It is the goriest, sweariest Deadpool yet. There's so much gore and so much swearing, you almost feel sick in some of the scenes, but I loved it. I mean, I love horror and stuff, so I don't give a fuck. I enjoyed it so much, I watched it on Sunday night for the first time, and as soon as it finished, I just immediately started it again, watched all over again. It's really fun. It's really fun. I wanted to see it at the cinema, but I didn't go because I haven't been in the cinema in about 3 years now, and I have no rush to go to anything these days. I liked it. Phil was disappointed in the girlfriend story. Yeah, the movie's fun. The story is dog shit, but the movie's really fun. There's lots of cool, fun scenes. Story-wise, it's just a whole bunch of gags and action stuff. The story is a complete non-event. There really is no story arc of any of the characters. It's just a bunch of meta, silly nonsense. But if you like Deadpool or like silly comics and humor and stupid action, it's a leave your brain at home movie. But there really is no proper story arc for anyone. It's just like, here's some mentions of Deadpool 1 and 2 and stuff that happened. Now let's go off and do all this other stuff. And you can tell, I don't know what the budget was, but you can tell they shot around other things going on, whether it was strikes or whatever. They had to shoot around all kinds of stuff. There's so much scenes where it just doesn't involve the other characters from the previous films, except for little bookends at like the beginning and end. Hope your home, Zazel. Non-ruined. Too easy. But yeah, I'm going to finish up there, man. It's just a quick hangout. I think next week I'm going to do like comic Marvel Legends, but I'll probably do a couple of those. Like I might do one on Spider-Man, the villains, one on X-Men stuff, and then one on everybody else. I don't know, Avengers or whatever, because they've got so many more comic figures than the movie ones. So I don't want to try and cram them into one little like half hour, 40-minute thing. I'll do another different one. But yeah, it's just something else to do. Just hang out, repurpose old photos or something on my hard drive, because there's like thousands of them. Look through and see stuff I've taken photos of a couple of years ago. Might as well make use of them. But yeah, thanks for hanging out for a bit, guys. And I got some catching up to do now. Zazel pumped out a whole bunch of shows over the weekends at weird times, and I'm obviously to appease the overlords and foreign territories and make it work. So I understand that part of it. But it's like, wait a minute, this is like midnight, and this one's at 6 a.m. and this one's at 9 a.m. Weird times. I'm like, where's the evening ones I can watch at dinner time? I want to watch my dinner time Zazel and Nate talking about Ories, and I'm like, It's at a weird time on a strange day. But that's what replays are for. So I've got all those to watch. And same with Ronnie yesterday. He was on his usual time, but I had to make dinner and put washing away and others. Before I knew it, like 2 or 3 hours had gone by, and I'm like, oh man, I completely missed the show because I didn't stop moving for about 3 hours doing stuff around the house. But yeah, I'm gonna finish up here. So I'll catch you guys next time. Ronnie saying, take it easy, brother. See you in line again soon. Yeah, probably too soon. Probably like so soon you were like, fuck off, Johnny. You're too much time. You're too far away in Perth, but keep going, mate. Keep going. A little bit further away. You had enough of you. Cheers, fellas. If you like Blaster Entertainment, I have you covered. I like Blaster Entertainment and I do like Master Entertainment. So you put those two together. Zazel has some Master Blaster Entertainment, so definitely go and check out the stuff he put out over the weekend. There was 2 or 3 shows in the last. I added up today. I was looking at how much Zazel stuff. There was about 4 hours worth of stuff. I mean, good stuff, man. Not like filler stuff. Not just like a blank screen where it's going beep with nothing on it. Like good chats, good people. I'm really looking forward to catching up with those and catching up on recent Phil videos. I think I've watched most of your ones, but there's a couple I've missed. I watched the toy hauls and toy hunts. I've seen all of Roddy's ones for the last 3 or 4 weeks, except for this week. I missed this one. But yeah, that'll do it for today. Let's click a little thing over here and say so long till next time.